growth of human being is marked by the process of evolution. Not by biological evolution, psychological evolution, in which the benchmark of wisdom, the distinguishability of mankind from other species at juncture has been proved by a tireless processing and pursuit of observation which matures into knowledge, culminates into wisdom, which has primogenitorially emanated into the various systems of science, engineering and technology. In this advent of the knowledge processing, the basic element that has categorically constituted the system of what we call knowledge acquisition is known as learning. Learning is the natural stage of a person's knowledge processing nature. Each and everybody, by the limited sense of organs, they used to observe and record their observations by means of two major forces. One is the force of memory and second is the force of reproduction, which is developed by comparative studies and creativity. So in this process of epistemology, what we call the science of learning, once we addressed about the systems of knowledge that exist in the world, for example, any person doing research about the brain, especially on neurobiology or neuropsychiatry, he may be less aware of his own brain status. And with mind only, we used to cognize, relate, interconnect, imbibe, assimilate and produce all knowledge acquisitions, in spite of which we don't know what is mind and what is the question of mind. Now it has resulted in the advent of a new science known as cogno-technology, and technology also, it has resulted in a new dimension of a consciousness science-oriented new dimension known as cognoprosthetics, in which a person's innate ability of mind and intellect can be compromised and compensated by technical devices. So we live in the world without knowing what we are. Science does not know what science is, and technology yet has to find the technology of technology. It is known as meta-technology, meta-energetics. In each and every system that exists in the world, they used to prefix that with meta. That means the science of the science. Like that, learning is the natural status of our wisdom acquisition from which we have gained everything. If learning, the seed which germinates and sprouts into the great banyan of unilateral, multilateral, polyversatile, multiversatile, immeasurable, inscrutable, inimaginable wisdom that we call great knowledge, samgyana, vijnana, pragyana in tradition, and now what we call as omnipotential knowledge, in which the person can learn anything and do anything. Omnivibrant knowledge, in which the person realizes and relishes what he has learned, instead of being just a book that holds the knowledge. We are also holding honey in our tongue, just as a container holds, just as a flower holds, but the knowledge system is entirely different from the knowledge experience. We are not knowledge systems, we are knowledge experiential bodies in which we have to realize and relish. If this transformation does not occur, we cannot have mere learning. How to talk about accelerated system of learning? So, based on the science of epistemology, we should know clearly what is learning. Learning is entirely different from observing. Learning is entirely different from reading and studying. Learning means accessing a particular element, extracting the juice or the quintessential dimension of the element or object of perceptibility or observation, then retaining the same thing, then reconfiguring the same thing to our own personalized system of attachment, just as a cloth is purchased and stitched as per our norms and measures, just as ingredients are bought and they are unified and processed as per our taste and necessity. In knowledge also, there is a processing, customized, internal, innate, inherent processing system of the mind, which is known as learning. Reading is very peripheral. Reading is, it just shows that you know the language. If you can read that paper, it shows that I can read the language. So linguistic acquaintance is what we call reading. Studying means a person is also capable of understanding the content of it. It is grammatical, philological and lexicographic understanding of the concept. Yes, I could follow that. But learning is a person having imbibed a particular object need not require that object again for reproduction. Learning is such a status of maturity, such a state of acquisition in which a person takes an imitative imprint of the same object which he has subjected for learning or understanding or pursuit or analysis or whatever the task that he takes, starting from the micro to the macro level. If the object is no more required, there are three stages of learning. One is, if I have seen a book, the same book is not required for me. That is phase one, the first level of transition, in which equilateral and equivalent residual imprints are incorporated inside the endoetheric reticulum of the mind or the mental ether, whereby the person creates a similar copy of what he has objectively envisioned. That is the phase one. Second two is, whatever that he has already envisioned and reincorporated, at any time of demand, he can process it and reproduce. That is learning. The third thing is, not only from the demarcations or the boundaries of what he has already been injected or he has assimilated, he can expand, extend, and innumerably having a possibility of probing into the untold dimensions of the given knowledge. That type of a person's independent ability. Person's independent ability and voyage into the nuances and subtleties of the subject, whereby he can review it, he can report it, he can repudiate it, he can add it, he can modify it, he can enhance it, he can elevate it, he can create creativity by means of a perspicacious vision as per the cognitive studies and science. So, just to keep everything whatever you hold inside your mind without the need of its assistance more. Second thing is, anytime money ATM is there, right? We are seeing in money, and anytime services are there in various other public agencies like that. Anytime productivity, anytime reproduction, anytime presentation by means of any modules. What are the modules of presentation? Verbal presentation is there, drafting or cryptic presentation is there, performance or demonstrative presentation is there. Irrespective of the modes, irrespective of the environmental need or emergency rates, the person should have been empowered to present it. That is known as the skill of learning. If learning itself is like this, then what would have been the definition or the etymological derivation for the words analysis, probe, scrutiny, investigation, research? All these words are highly pregnant with meaning, more than what we think. So, what we are thinking as research methodology now is nothing but a mere learning exercise. There is the practical work, the pragmatic vision in the research institutes. What is the output? Output is always to be studied in the science of productivity. In the research institutes, innumerably having only imitative and limited understandings. There is a very great research article about research itself. What is the future of research areas? What are the individual as well as innovative outputs that have been given by research institutes? This is nothing. Even if research institutes are at that stage, then it is very lamentable to see about the learning exercises. Learning is a never-ending process. Learning is a perennial process. And for learning, we have been provided a lot of gadgets due to negligence, due to arrogance, due to ignorance, due to wrong association or lack of proper association and motivation. We are not able to achieve it. The basics of learning is each and everybody can learn more than what he has imagined, what he has dreamt, and what it is possibly made for others to think that the person should extract that knowledge. More than his own expectation, more than the demand and pressure that is created in the learning and living environments, more than the demand that is created by the emerging society, expanding society, expected society, and futuristic society, we can learn. First of all, learning is a very great task in which you write a book, publish it inside with footnotes and annotations, and be prepared at least equal to a teacher. Learning makes a person at least equal to the teacher. And teaching makes a person at least equal to him. So teaching is not a process of a horizontal hierarchy of transmission of knowledge. It is a flow of standardization and stability of knowledge between learning and teaching aids. It is a process of equalization. It is a process of equilibrium. It is a process of unison in which the knowledge dimensions are shared in such a depth, dimensional and directive methodology, so that they create a confluence of knowledge and they create very great synergic values for future execution, demonstration, and other achievement goals. So we should know what learning is, then we should know what is accelerated learning. It is not accelerating learning techniques, it is accelerated learning techniques. So accelerated learning itself is a biverbal word, it is a compound word, and techniques is a supportive word. So we should understand that it is accelerated learning in which learning is the main subject and accelerated is the adjective that gives us the idea of the standard of learning, and techniques, they are all the explanatory attachments or suffixes which are going to give us the methodologies by which we can operate clearly the techniques and achieve it. What is learning and what is accelerated learning? I have already told what is learning. What is accelerated learning? Generally, whenever you call something as acceleration, that means in a high speed. The general observation of the society about acceleration means it is in high speed, like fast food economy and fast money economy and fast life economy. It should not be misunderstood that fast or quicker learning is known as accelerated learning. We should understand that the real value of education is nothing but retention, reproduction and action or implementation. So any knowledge that is gained which can enable us or capacitate us to achieve the three things, that is known as accelerated learning. Whenever you learn things, we used to consider about three major factors. One is time factor, the time that is covered for a person to complete a task. If a person is earning 5,000 rupees per month, it is a reasonable salary. If a person is learning very great skills and arts, practicing higher skills, but earning 25,000 but per annum, then certainly it is a drawback. So we should know that there should be proper time allocation for achievement, and any achievement that is prolonged, that is subjected to procrastination or unwanted elasticity, that is nothing but pain, nothing in gain. So we used to understand this first as time management. Accelerated learning technique that gives you an idea about learning the same subject, learning the same style and syllabus, learning the same thing for the same purpose within a limited time scope. So the first thing is time control and time reduction is accelerated learning. Second acceleration is depth of understanding. Apart from the time, the person, he reaches a particular depth of the subject, wherein by fundamentals, superstructure, then futuristics or expansions of the subjects, everything is understood. Each and every subject is having three dimensions according to knowledge sciences. One is known as ontology. Now recently, each and every subject is read with ontology. Whenever you go for MPhil or whenever you go for doctoral research, you cannot avoid ontology because that is the base of the subject where it has been originated. But there should be a pinch of ontological research that should have been injected at the time of their impressionable age, at the time of the inceptive level of education itself. That should be a fundamental knowledge. 10 errors of modern education system was a very great research article that has been composed, and a very great seminar and symposium was organized in which I represented myself to give about the explanatory notes on the major 10 blunders of the modern system of incorporating knowledge as well as implementing the same or implanting the same. The first thing is the basic ontology, which makes the subject to be relished, that is given at a level where the person becomes too old to relish it or to digest it. So ontology is the first thing. Second is energetics, that deals with the subject energy, that deals with the basic materials of the subject, that gives the major methodologies of the subject, expansions and extensions of the subjects. Third thing is teleology, ever extending purposeful studies of the subject where it can be applied, that deals with three studies. One is integral study of various things. Second is interdisciplinary study of various things. Third thing is imminent study for immediate practice and application, where we can tune everything as per the crisis, emergency, need and progress of the society. And these things are very much little bit difficult to follow unless it is incorporated as a PowerPoint presentation or in the syllabus in a very slow stream method instead of a cascade fall. If it is a slow stream method, it can be very easily enjoyed by the people. And in this ideology of implanting accelerated learning, where it can be easily learnt, effectively learnt and efficaciously learned for more purpose, more access and more success in the life, we have a lot of techniques. Considering the main projection for the techniques which are naturally inhibited in 4 methodologies, one is cognitive studies, second is pedagogy or teaching methodology, third thing is you should have learnt about mathematics. But if you take that man outside, then it is mathematics. Mathematics is a special science which exclusively deals on learning methodologies. Just as there is pedagogy, there is mathematics also. So there are 4 major pillars of learning which accelerates the purpose, which accelerates the person's performance, which accelerates the perseverance and endurability of a person to receive more, to hold more, to possess and implement the same. The first thing is cognitive. He should understand about his mental arena and structure. How to understand? For example, if you take an ingredient, taking an ingredient is actually different from processing it and having it. So cookery is a science. When cookery is started, the primogenitors of the art of cookery say that it is not merely an art or just a domestic work, it is a science. The processing of all the ingredients that have been done by the earth, same thing has been done with elective, selective, meticulous care and mixture analysis. Everything is very properly done. Pharmacogenetically suitable for a person's environment as well as the internal environment, which is called as homeostasis or what we call salubrity, general health. So everything is an art as well as a science inside itself. So we should understand mind is an art. Whenever you think mind as an art piece, then whenever you feel free, whenever it is simply given, that's what I told in the lecture. There are three types of teachers. The teacher who is capable of chiseling the rock of wisdom and giving it in relishable or palatable parts. That is one of the gifted teacher. Any great subject, there are a lot of teachers who are teaching even history and geography as crucial and cruel as surgery. There are a lot of people who are teaching various other things like chemistry, which has no palatability at all, which has no desire or dreamful dimension at all. In casual vision, I am saying. Mathematics and chemistry, there are the torture subjects. There have been a lot of teachers who have created a visualized documentary presentation of the same thing, in which they played with fun with the elements, the chemicals, the catalysts and reactions, as if we are personally involved, we are chemicals by ourselves. So there are a lot of people who are creating the spirit of visualization, and we should understand that they are not gifted teachers. The person who can give you an axe so that you can chisel yourself, the person is known as a grand teacher. And a giant teacher is a person who makes you a cobroid, by means of which you can swallow the same thing without any compromising exercise, and you can release the wisdom as it is without any simplification exercises. For example, you are carrying children in your arms, in your shoulder, and you are touching them, nurturing them, embracing them, catechizing them. It is a period of immaturity where there is absolute dependence or semi-dependence of the children on you. The same thing is carried throughout the life. It is not promotion, it is not affection. It is something which is affected instead of having affectionate dimension towards the child. So simplification has its own zone. Any person following the same simplification zone, not allowing the person to go by his own innate maturity and his own exposure, in which he can realize his own ability to digest, ability to swallow high level contents and digest high potential multi-versatile ingredients inside himself, then that person is also in a wrong direction and the teacher is wrongly being trained in teachership. So this is what we have to understand in accelerated learning. Basically, that there should be a power to simplify something, there should be a power to amplify something. There are two skills. Simplification is a skill by which the subject is brought to your level. Amplification is a skill by which you are upgraded or lifted to the level of the syllabus so that you can master all of these things. Unfortunately, these techniques are the necessities are not being taught in the syllabus or in the classrooms, and there are very limited environmental conduciveness or availability of these resources for the people in the society, domestic, professional, national, social and global environments. There is no possibility for that. So unless there is a revolutionary renaissance that is created for making these students to spend each and every bit of their time, risk, energy and money investment to be hyper fertile or horrific, there is a word in English known as horrific, whatever you plant, if it is harvested in the form of gold, then it is known as auriferous harvest. So to get an horrific growth of whatever you have done, to get the realistic value of whatever you have dreamt and whatever you are ambitious of, it should be implanted in the already existing syllabus, and this syllabus which is devoid of this art or this implantation is nothing but the chords in a well decored form. We want to revive and reinitiate the animation inside. I want to just give a list of few techniques and possibilities which these people can start. There are three exercises. One is simple exercises or techniques. Second is mediocre or medieval exercises. Third is highly sophisticated technical exercises. In this also there are mind power exercises, intellectual gymnastics or special exercises. Third thing is confidence or psychological self-molding, or it is known as auto-architecture. We are designing the house, You are designing your cloth and clad, you are designing your ornaments, you are designing town planning and village planning, urban management, rural management, National Prosperity Council, National Development Council, UN Council for World Millennium Project, everything is there. What about bioarchitecture? What about self-architecture? What about self-promotion and self-construction or automotive? This major science should be implanted. So there are 4 methodologies. One is to understand about the value of mind and intellect. Second thing is specialized methodologies of learning, not the learning which you are making now. Third thing is special methodologies of teaching, which is not there now, that should be incorporated. The fourth thing is having a strong, desirous willpower by which we can understand everything. So, mental and intellectual ability, learning exercises, teaching exercises, a strong, motivated, desirous willpower. These 4 things are the pillars of persons who can be incidentally produced as genius and performers in the society. Most of the genius members of the society are inherited from their parents. Those people, those who are majorly in the achievement or accomplishment zone, they are all very casual and accidental. They are being just manipulated by influence, unethical means and various other things which cannot be very easily demonstrated in a dais like this. So, very incidentally designed, very empirically designed, practically designed people unless they come for administration. Either it is domestic or social or academic or professional, we cannot create a mega transformative society or transformed society at least. So we want to develop about the mind and intellectual ability, learning as well as teaching along with willpower design. Basically, this should be the extension of the caliber engineering lecture which I have already given about confidence. I have delivered a lecture about caliber engineering. Caliber engineering is accelerated learning. We are capable of engineering innumerable things. You know about production, about instrumentation, about chemical, about aeronautics, about marine, about various other things like electrical, electronics, robotics, nano, innumerable engineering systems are there. But there is a strong caliber. There is a paper and pen. Pen is with ink and there is a paper. It can hold any type of writing. It is known as omni-adaptability. Likewise, if there is a caliber, depending upon your taste, depending upon your need, depending upon the incorporation of your innate imprints, you can select any level of subject, you can select any subject and you can utilize it with any interdisciplinary approach instead of doing anything in a hazardous form and zigzag form which is existing now. Now also the persons are interdisciplinary. They are completing engineering, then going for accountancy or something, CA. Somebody is going for IAS, somebody is going for MBA, somebody for MTech. Then suddenly they are dropped back in BPOs, day and night service. So these things are also there. People are also multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary but non-selective, hazardous, and it is whimsical and quixotic, what are the transformations or this type of jumps and circumstantial provocations that exist now, they are not laudable in nature. So to have a proper way of selectivity, to have a standardization of one's own wishes, opportunities, environment, learning, job, achievement, these 6 things are not dependent on each other. They are entirely different. Whatever you are like is entirely different from what your environment is. Whatever the society needs is entirely different from what it is. So this type of paradox that exists in all of these multi-encompassable ingredients of an integral form of a human success or accomplishment that should be realigned in a prospective and providential methodology by means of a proper and precise tool. And this lecture is going to be a small motivator of it. Just as a lot of things, they cannot be equally relished because of various things. First of all, mentally unprepared to hear or to return all of these things. Second, language, subject, the methodology of rendering without any jokes or without any illustrations or without any external presentations, presentabilities and presentabilities or other. Lot of these various factors may not create a way of alluration towards a person or fascination towards a subject. But slowly if it is taken in the form of a writing, if it is reheard after several times, dozens of times, without considering it as a punishment again, if it is relished by the people, then they can relish the sweetness inside this bitterness, the simplicity behind this robust and arduous methodology, and Herculean methodologies, whatever we have been doing in order to do something, we struggle and suffocate. The same thing has been simplified and facilitated within the hand's reach. So, within this bitterness there is sweetness, within this arduousness there is simplicity, within this unconnected philosophical root there is a fruit for your personal success and your campus development and national progress. To identify all of these things, it requires a process of re-engineering. What is the new subject in engineering? Process re-engineering. A recent subject has come, it is known as process re-engineering everything. So if you re-engineer this caliber engineering subject, Certainly it will be a subject of your individual, personal, exclusive, specific taste for your today and tomorrow without connecting much with philosophy. Basically, it should be the second chapter of confidence. Confidence, whenever people think about confidence, they say that, oh, confidence means it is something connected with mind. It need not be studied at all. It is a natural product. It should come from somebody else like motivation. So there is nothing to study or to do research on confidence. Confidence is a science. Confidence comes under neuropsychiatry. Confidence comes under anthropo-cybernetics. It is a very great science which deals with the mind and its nature of being a prime mover to accelerate each and everybody's function to go with suction. First of all, if you want to suck something to get inspiration or involvement, it is based on confidence. If you want to understand something, comprehension, you want confidence. So various levels of confidence which are entirely different from what we call confidence is to be re-engineered, and within the limited span of time I want to just put a point on it. First of all, there is an interesting news of global survey. When the world is surveyed, how people are surviving, we used to call all living beings, they are survived by some sort of amino acids inside and they are surviving by oxygen and other things. But a very great global survey has been taken in which they hold 95% of the global civilization, they survey by confidence. 95% of the people, those who don't have the resources, those who have little resources, those who are having resources and lot of retributions, that means lot of obstacles, and those who have lost the resources and still lamenting for getting that, those who are totally made silent and imbecile, how these people are living in the society? 95% of the global society, they are surviving only by the power of hope or confidence. So confidence is a basic science for global survival and existence. Number two, whenever something is visible and certain, you need not have any confidence at all. For example, if you visibly see something, what is the need for a confidence on it? If you are certain about something, if you are taking sugar and putting it into your mouth, can you say that I am confident that it will be sweet? What is that? It is particularly visible as well as it is certain, unless influenced by an allegorical factor or any other analogous factor or any other autonomous factor on it. There is no possibility for a person to think otherwise. So, human life is full of, in education, in personalization, in profession, we are not in an aligned environment. There are people who are like us, there are people who are below us, against us, above us, beyond us and inside us. All of these various factors can be very cleverly unified and parallelly organized only by means of confidence engineering. So, wherever the circumstances where we don't have certainty and visibility, we should bring the same thing with your power known as confidence. There are two levels of confidence in accelerated learning. One is pre-executive, second is post-executive. A person's confidence level required before writing an examination is entirely different from a person's confidence about his pass or his designation or his dignified mark or any other thing, whatever he imagines, either positively or negatively. That is entirely different because a person's necessity to develop the confidence to create an active urger, it is known as AU. In psychomechanical engineering, they call it as an urger, active urger, or it is known as also an activator. So whenever a person is about to perform a task, the confidence level of a person does two things. One, basically even after writing the examination, confidence creates a comfort inside the mind. But before studying and writing the examination, instead of being a just comforter, it is also a capacitator which urges a person, active urger, which urges a person to go for the studies, to memorize everything, to categorize everything inside the mind, and to make himself fear, trouble and tremor free or turmoil free or even trauma free, so that he can approach the examination without any mental disability or phobias. Because trauma is, somebody did a very great research on nephrology and neurology. What happens to the body systems, especially on the blood vessels and excretory system, especially with the neuro basis on NSP, neurosignal processing. What happens to the neurosignal processing of a person whenever a person is subjected to trauma? There are innumerable traumas are there. Mental trauma is there, accidental trauma is there, disaster trauma is there. There is one trauma, you have to believe it. It is known as examination trauma. I'm not joking. Most of the people, I have already told in a seminar, if English is not the language, if subject and syllabus is not there, if English is not the language but the vernacular language, If there is only practical demonstration and subjective and objective learning instead of syllabus learning, if there is a system of self-evaluation and examination for a common entry, at least 15% of Indian population would have been scientists, great scientists. So there are a lot of barriers which create a lot of psychological depressions, suppressions and oppressions which make the person to get Anglophobia. Anglophobia, fear of English. Second is bibliophobia. Whenever we see the book, immediately we are totally discouraged. Because of the size, because it is something connected with the trend. There were people before several centuries, see, that is the difference. See, when you are accustomed with the great Ambrosia, you cannot go for a common food. When you are accustomed with a damsel or a great Cupid, you cannot see a beggar at all. Like that, the people in the modern society, they are well trained, they are well tuned with the visual presentations, multicolor presentations, multi-dimensional presentations, graphics and haptics. Such a person to go back to the Bullock era of printed books, that too in the form of very great monuments, in the form of pills or pillows. I used to call books are treated only by people as pills, like medicines, bitter medicines or pillows. So the present trend that exists in the form of Anglomania, bibliomania, which is known as fear for books. And third thing is, whenever they are relishing something and doing, those things are very much connected with the non-practical compositions. And commonality, what is non-practical? They are not going to do anything in life. I asked a person who has completed mathematics. He is now working in an area which is connected with mathematical engineering. He shifted. How many of your vector algebra formulae, your matrices, differential and integral calculus are applied in your life? It is not that. So non-practical thrust that is given inside a person that makes a person to lose interest at all. Second thing, even if you learn something to be practiced, you are not given opportunities in the society to practice them, you have to select something else. Lack of opportunities. That is also one more thing. So it should be a composite study. Confidence means, what is confidence? Confidence is not positively thinking that everything will be for us. Number one, we will get good job. We will get financial upliftment. We will get recognition and reward. This is not confidence. Confidence is, in spite of lack of recognition and reward, in spite of financial fallacy or fiscal deficit in our life, in spite of proper achievement of the social environmental conditions of our own future in the life, how to reveal our own inner potency, how to compete with them. There are two things. How to compete with forces which are in combat, how to cooperate with forces which are very much colloquial and convertible to you. This is known as confidence. Confidence is an art by which you can withstand all inimical forces and you can imbibe all integral forces. So confidence that does not merely make you blind that everything will be positive. That is a blind imagination. To withstand all circumstances is known as confidence. The first confidence you should just bring it is within the book. Seeing a book, immediately you should think that you can finish a book, instead of thinking that the book will finish you. One of the most accelerated techniques I have practiced, because accelerated techniques is my personal subject. In spite of being a Swami, I am a personal, that is what we call entrepreneur, or a personal research-oriented fellow in major sciences which are included in this. First of all, I am into pedagogy. Second, I am into psychological study of students. Third, I am a specialist in instruction methodology. Fourth thing is neuro-linguistic processing and programming. I am a specialist. That's why in one university we have opted for selecting 6 students who have failed in 10th standard. They can complete BTech and MBBS within 6 months. Within 6 months they can complete. Complete means I cannot give them certification or authorization. They can, with international peers, they will complete everything without referring a book. They can answer any question that is asked by the valuable dignitaries who are available in the audience in the presence of media. And this is very much possible without the indoctrination of philosophy or religion. If you believe in God, it is okay. Even if otherwise, it is an intellectual gymnastic method in which your mind, it is well organized. If this place is totally ill-organized, it will have full damp. That is space management in interior design. Even in construction technology, space management is a major thing. A room is there. If you just fix everything disorderly inside the room, the wing will look very clumsy as well as it will be totally dirty and totally commodious enough to accommodate everything that is inside without giving room to the other element to enter inside. So this type of exocommodious or unicommodious nature is the normal human mind or the caliber of the modern student. Whenever it is spaciously organized, that which is simplified, that's what I told, convert your knowledge into values. That's the first accelerated techniques. To crores of rupees have been carried by a person in the form of 1 rupee coin. Then he was dragging 10 or 20 donkeys with a lot of bunches, burdens and stuff. The same thing is converted into 100 or 500 rupees. Then he was carrying few suitcases. Same thing in the form of gold. He was carrying a handbag. Same thing into diamonds. He was carrying it in the pocket without minding that it is a burdensome entity. So the basic element is what we call, if you understand the text or syntax of the subject, it is like 1 rupee coin. If you understand the cogency or the genetic tree of what you once if possible, I can draw a genetic tree of any subject that is available. Today we are going to discuss with the teachers. At that time we can produce a genetic tree of any subject. Let it be fluid mechanics, thermodynamics, aeronautics, aerostatics, anything whatever it may be, there is a genetic tree for that. Then it is simplified, it becomes 500 rupees gold. If it is understood with the ontology and hierarchy of expansion of the materials, the process and the principles, that immediately creates it into gold. If the same thing is, if the same thing becomes something connected with your own inspiration, involvement, innovation and creativity, that becomes like diamond. It is easily portable, it is pleasant, it is highly productive in nature. And there is a technology for that, and this thing is highly demonstrative. We should take a chapter, any chapter, in the teaching faculty, we are going to discuss about that. Take a chapter, considering the stuff study of it, the verbal and syntax study of it, then the purposive study of the same. Fourth thing is the progressive and processive study. Fifth thing is inspirative and innovative study. In the fifth level, whenever it is comprised, then it is very much potential enough to be carried with the utmost ease and efficacy. That's the greatness of education. Second accelerated learning is, whenever I made this challenge that 6 months is more than sufficient for a 10th standard fail person to complete BTech. A person was very much struggling. Why we have to go for accelerated learning? I told in one seminar that most of the things abnormal that we consider as abnormal, not abnormal. Most of the things that are abnormal are really normal, and as we are below normal, they appear to be abnormal. So accelerated learning techniques is nothing but the routinal, genuine, methodological research and learning techniques that have been adapted over several centuries and millennia, which is nothing new. So I want to give a situation known as impression, which I have handed over to a person. He was just studying about a lesson on sound. He was telling that the sound lesson, he is studying just 10th standard or something. Immediately the person was very much confused. He told that I am very struggling. I am posing all of the exertable and exhaustible pressure that is possible, but I could not memorize all of these things. I am more confused. Then he told the person to take a Xerox copy of the sound lesson alone, which forms a very negligible portion of the considerable book. So that particular 10 or 12 pages, they have been taken. Then I also told one thing, these things are simplification exercises, they should not be followed lifelongly. Second thing is, if you are seeing small letters, that's why for easy captivation and retention, the books that are meant for small children, they are made with bold and big letters and with illustrations. Because it's a natural way of learning. The second thing is, whenever a person is mature, an immature person, you are putting him cloths and you are making all decorations. The second person, whenever he is grown or mature, he cleans himself, he clothes himself, and he gets ready by himself in nature. So what is the symptom or parameter for maturity, you should understand. Whatever the small letter that you could see, instead of expecting a book to magnify it, if you can magnify inside your mind, you are mature. Instead of seeing a simple letter there, you could make it bold and create italics or underline. By your internal ability, you are mature. Third thing, without any illustration, if you can view what you are reading, then you are mature. So maturity is nothing but bold, underline, italics, bigger size fonts as well as illustration. The same thing which has been aided by the book should be in the immature state, and when a person is very much prosperous in his prudence, at that time you should see that the same facilitations are given inside. If it is not given, that's a mistake of the teacher as well as the parent. That should be there. When the person was given that 10 pages, immediately the person was very happy, and within 3 or 4 days, very capaciously he has memorized everything. That is known as impression. Most of the books, then we see a lot of these things which appear to be very much confusing or unintelligible, or a cryptic message of the terrorist or any Greek Latin, immediately we are totally out of confidence area and we are discouraged. So impression, anything that is isolated, Actually, you should isolate sound inside the mind. If it is not possible, exhibit an external exercise, whatever that you feel that you cannot learn or it is very arduous, just exercise an isolated version of it, then magnify the size of it, create your own notes or illustration of it. That is the way of accelerated techniques if you are not able to do it inside. So confidence is a very great power that creates an impression, initial impression. Wherever you see a book, you should understand that according to the science of the brain, even the global publications, even the whole global publications or unpublished journals, they can be spaciously accommodated inside a small tinsel of your brain. That much is the capability of your human brain. Human brain is powerful than computers. Human brain is powerful than the books. The third thing is all books are authored by the persons who are having the same structure of brain, maybe well organized, maybe we are well organized. So instead of understanding that these things are different and inaccessible, we should understand that the organized presentation of our brain and caliber can make everything accessible. So confidence at the first level, in the pre-executive and post-executive level, we should understand that we can do everything. Because it is not only mere imagination, science also says that there is a possibility for a human being to retain everything as it is and reproduce whenever it is needed. Second thing is, in education, task management and settlement is there. Task management and settlement. Whatever you are having, everything can be converted into manual. If you want to have higher acceleration in learning or teaching or in achieving something, the first thing is desire. Desire is a very great power. If properly organized, that should be a subject for this. What is desire mechanics? How to organize the mechanical movements of a desire so that we can know about the subject. We are properly dealing with the subject. We can deal with the responsible exercises for bringing the benefit in your hands. That is known as desire mechanics. Second is a dream transformation. All people, there are two things. One is energetic dream, second is artistic dream. Artistic dream ends in dream, whereas energetic dream starts with a dream and ends in energetics or an accomplishment. So whatever you dream, whatever you are having a desire, whatever the curiosity is there, whatever competition is there, whatever imitation and investigation is there, whatever compulsion that you are having, even each and every accident that is known as in science, there is a very great ideology. Most of the scientists, they have invented a lot of things, there are records. Most of the scientists' invention, if you go through the story, that is based by serendipity. You go through the word serendipity and do a research on it. Most of the people having a strong fervor and desire, moving towards continuous pursuit of something very sincerely, loyally, such persons have got a lot of things that which they have not imagined. That which is more than what they have been planning for. That which is different from what they have been planning for. Casual observation, like Archimedes' principle. Casual observation, like Newton's principle. So each and every accidental, natural, non-promotive, unoriented, unwarranted issues have successfully resulted in great achievements. So this is the intervention of personal fear and environmental experiences at the time of performance. Learning about confidence is very much easier when compared to the application of the same confidence when there is a challenge to confidence. Talking about bravery in the absence of any enemy or any congestion or crisis is a very easy and enjoyable task. Whenever the person is put in the same pressure, the person's confidence, courage, exercises, everything will go away. Confidence is also called as boldness and bravery. The person's readiness to face any challenges is known as bravery. Basic level of a person's self-belief is known as confidence. If the same thing is in the higher level, it is known as boldness. If the same thing is in the very best level, it is known as bravery. In these three things, the fear level, the risk level and risk management crisis that differs. A person facing confidence, he has least resources. If it is something enhanced than that, the person is said to be bold. And bravery is in utmost challenges which are highly challenging in nature. So confidence is a type of bravery, and bravery is a type of utmost confidence of a fully resourceful and committed personality. So this basic understanding should be there. So in this confidence molding, in each and every stage of our development, we have to categorize the different confidences that we have to possess and know about the starters and runners and promoters of confidence. First confidence promoter is what we call comprehensive view. In learning, as we are not clear of what we are going to do, as we are not clear of, nobody has any liking towards Dalton's theory or personally towards Dalton, either they should love an atom or they should love the theory of atomic modeling, or they should have a special attachment towards Niels Bohr and Dalton. Neither there is an attachment towards the personality or with the performance or with the specific system or any code or principle or anything that is revealed. So the basic thing is comprehensive view. In each and every class, there should be the first session on experimental teaching in engineering pedagogy. That was a new model developed by us, in which we told the first lesson or the first shift for the students to learn is comprehensive view. Where you have come from, what you are, what you want to do, even if the thing is not achievable, selection, affirmation, confirmation, supportive and alternative study is known as confidence. We should select a proper thing. Affirmation, we should affirm that what you have selected is correct. It should be reconfirmed by our own presentation and our own experience or performance level. If there is a drawback, then it should be supported. If it is not achievable, you should have equal fervor in selecting something which is accountable for you, which is justifiable for you, which is known as an alternative selection or survival. That is known as basics of confidence. In alternative systems of education, the person should have a proper selection and a fine-tuning and also a multi-versatility to select anything, whether that is proximate or distant to each other. That type of selectivity based on a person's caliber, need and confidence should be there. It should not be as per the causations, needs and pressures as it is existing now, just as I have already given. So in this area, confidence is said to be promoted by comprehensive view. Second is, I have already told about simplicity. Whenever things are simple, immediately the person considers that it is highly confident for a person to move with that. And the third level is accustomation. Whenever somebody asks what is mystery and what is miracle, that which you have not expected is known as a mystery, that which you cannot execute is known as a miracle. And if it is well known already, and in which it is well executed, or it is knowable or approachable or implementable by you, it is no more a mystery or miracle. So simplification, anything presented in a simplified form by means of stuff disintegration and rescheduling. There is a special accelerated technique which should be done by accelerated techniques. If we say 100 techniques, in which only 25 techniques are with the students and 75 techniques are with the teachers. How to design the curriculum, how to deal with all of these things, everything is with the teachers only. So how to simplify and produce the same thing. Third is to accustom, to think that it is highly accustomable or friendly in nature. To understand the conceptive fraternity of the subject and syllabus that we have taken, that is known as accustomation. Apart from accustomation, analysis makes something highly accelerated, you can understand. Fifth is highly powerful, it is known as influential mechanics. That should be the inspiration of your teacher, that should be inspiration of any other teacher or any other successful candidate or any other role model in the society. If you have simplification, accustomation, if you have a comprehensive view of what you are doing, if you have the mind of analysis, which you are supported by a very great inspirational force, whether living nearby you or not living or an existing, even a fantasy model it may be, whatever it may be, if it is capable of having a strong inspirational influence on you, these things are known as confidence promoters in nature. And there are different models of confidence in the society in which 10 students are to be selected. In accelerated learning, 10 models are there. For each and every model, there should be a particular selection and there should be 3 months of review on the person and a subject should be taken. Any person who is struggling with the subject, any person is below average, any person is totally self as well as externally and experimentally hopeless as per the consideration, that person should be selected and reviewed and re-engineered by the process because it is an empirical science. It should be very clearly